And welcome back to the program, everybody. You know, it was January of 1979 when then school president Trevor Colburn decided it was time for football at the University of Central Florida. Later that year, the Knights fielded their first ever team under Coach Don Jonas, a former pro player who to this day remains a sports icon in Central Florida. The program, for obvious reasons, has come a long way since 1979, which made us wonder what that first season was like. We're glad we did.
Before we even got to the first day of practice, we didn't have any footballs. I mean, we had no equipment to speak of. I mean, you would have thought that the sporting good companies around here would have been knocking down the door to do that, but they weren't.
You saw gents with full beards. You saw big old corn-fed country boys.
You had guys that were tending bar. You had bouncers down at Rosie O'Grady's and Nichols Alley. You know, all these guys that were a bunch of wannabes.
We didn't have manicured practice fields. We didn't have adequate blocking sleds. We didn't have adequate blocking dummies. We were a bunch of scrappers out there in a sand patch, kind of going at it.
We either met in the locker room at the old basketball gym, the defensive coaches did, or we spent a lot of time meeting at the police station downtown, because one of our coaches was a cop, so you know, Art Green, so we met down there an awful lot.
You know, we made a talk to him, said, you know, you guys ought to be proud you're out here, man, because you're going to start something that you people are going to remember all your life, and you'll never forget it, and you're going to come back to these ball games and say, hey, yeah, I was part of the first team ever.
The thing that they have going for them is they feel that this is one game they know they can win. And going in with that type of an attitude, you know that they're going to be ready for you.
Our first game was against St. Leo College, and kind of unique. We get out there, the sky starts to turn dark.
Well, we pulled up, and of course it's pouring down rain, and I saw the football field was worse than the practice field at Bishop Moore. I mean, it was like, I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Catch and run for the first UCF score ever.
I'll never forget Bobby Joe Plain catching that first touchdown pass and running into the end zone and water flying all over the place.
And when he went in there, I mean, it was from 10 yards before he got dry land again. He went through it.
Defense was clicking as well, and it was a very unique experience. It wasn't more of a welcome to college football. It was a, wow, this is college football?
We started out with 4 wins, and we started getting really cocky. 4 wins, undefeated, first team ever, University of Central Florida. Then we went on a road trip.
I'll never forget the trip to Presbyterian where, which we got waxed.
And they fired this cannon off every time they scored, and I think we cost them $20,000 in powder because they scored 48 points on us. It was a rather one-sided game.
And at the end of the game, they were singing MIC, KEYMOUSC football team. It was embarrassing.
Then we go up to Emory and Henry, and we got a good referee shaft job up there, but other than that, we could have been undefeated.
When I first got assigned out at the university, and I looked at our schedule, I had stated we would be 6-2 when the season was over.
I think the discipline on the football field overwhelmed our athleticism, which there wasn't much of.
Go! Fake here, now I come back here. See you,